Okay, welcome back to my channel. I don't think many of you are going to be long time viewers because I've only got one long form video. But I wanted to talk about a new book, or a book that I found at a thrift shop a while ago. It's been like a few months since I recorded a video. Been kind of graduating high school and writing my exams. So you read the title, The Thrifted Book from My Nightmares, and probably saw the cover. Don't even know if I can put the cover on the thumbnail because it's a bit rough. So this is the book, Pack Challenge by Shelley Lawrenston. Get it all in. So I'm doing her kid, the hardest reading challenge you ever do, and I went to go get 3 thrifted books because that's one of the challenges, and I managed to get this copy of Little Women. I got this one, which is actually in really good condition for a secondhand book. So I grabbed that and I was like, oh, okay, we're winning. Then I got The Pre-Loved Club, which is just off camera, and I can't get it out of the bookshelf, so I'm not going to. It looks okay. It looks like a easy to read, maybe older woman romance, which is not really my thing, but the whole point of the thrifted book challenge is to get out of your comfort zone. So I got Pack Challenge, which is in my comfort zone, sadly. So I read a lot of Omegaverse, and I have been since 13, which is problematic in itself, but I'm not opposed to werewolf shifting romance or anything like that. So this book was not new for me. This whole trope was not something I went into and was like, what am I reading? Nothing like that. This book is written by Shelley Lawrenston, who is now 56 at the time that I wrote the script, which was a few months ago, and she started writing when she was 38. Her main genre is animal shifting, as you can kind of tell. When I critique this book, it is not coming from a place of, I hate werewolf shifting, this is weird, this is gross. I like it. The general consensus of the book is, actually, it was really highly rated for something that I didn't think was known about at all, because this is not looking like it's on the front cover of, or the front page of Goodreads or Book Talk. But it actually has 24,000 reviews or reads on Goodreads, and 12,000 reviews, and a 3.94 star rating, which is much higher than I thought it would be. And then on Storygraph, which is the one I use, you should follow me, it has 1,600 reviews with a 3.56 star rating, and overall that averages out to a 3.75, which is really high compared to what I rated it. So I rated this a 0.5 stars out of 5, and I have never rated a book below 1 star before. So that is telling you what I think of this. Okay, at first I want to tell you about the book without spoiling. So spoiler review starting now, spoiler free review starting now. So if you are interested in actually reading it, I'll read you the back. You can decide if you want to buy it, support the author. Okay, so I'm going to read the blurb and I'll tell you a bit more about what it's actually about. Okay, what's an alpha male to do when he meets the alpha female of his dreams? 1 step, hide all sharp objects. All Zach Sheardon ever wanted was to become the alpha male of his pack and be left alone. What he definitely didn't need in his life was some needy female demanding his attention. Red flag already. Anyway, what he never saw coming was the vicious, scarred female who not only demanded his attention but knew exactly how to get it. Sarah Morgan knew that this was the best she could expect from her life. Good friends, a nice place to live, a safe job. But when Zach rode into a small Texas town in his motorcycle, Sarah knew she wanted more. She wanted him. But after one sexy encounter with her dream biker, everything started to change. Her body, her strength, that new thing she was doing with the snarling. Even her best friends were starting to wonder what was on with her. But this was only the beginning. Sarah was about to find out her life was meant for so much more, and Zach's about to find his true love with a woman who makes him absolutely insane. Okay, so more or less, the book follows Zach as he is trying to get Sarah into his pack, and there's more reasons for it, but that was as a spoiler. One of its biggest weaknesses is that the book is only 213 pages, is pretty thin. So you can't really build a whole world with it. I think it's part of a series. Fact check me there.
Yeah.
But you can't really make the most convincing, amazing story with 213 pages, especially when the author has introduced 3 female characters and like 2 male characters. So I didn't get enough about who they were to care. Spoiler review time. I'm going to spoil the book completely, so leave if you don't want to hear what it's about. So I hated it completely. Sarah is a shifter. If you couldn't tell, she's the alpha female. And her grandmother was hiding it from her entire life because her grandmother didn't want her to be a part of that whole world. So she was like, yeah, you're not, don't even think about it. And then her grandma dies at the beginning of the book. And Zach, who's from the Magnus pack, was originally who's supposed to be Sarah's pack, went to go find her and like bring her to where she's supposed to be. Zach kind of follows her around for the good first half of the book, trying to convince her to be together. He kind of watches her in wolf form. He does protect her, I think. I don't remember. And then they go to a concert together with her 2 friends that I don't care about. And they ended up hooking up outside of the concert venue. And he scratches her leg. And after he scratches her leg, she starts shifting. And she's like, what's happening to me? And Zach's like, calm down. What? So once she was scratched, she starts getting aggressive. She starts snarling and the wolf stuff. And Zach is like, I can calm her down. I got this. And I feel like the plot is just a background. It's a glorified background for the very subpar smut in this book that I actually skipped over because I couldn't bring myself to read it. No. The smut was the most unimaginative, unsexy, uneverything. Oh, I just opened to page 146. Play with your tits, Sarah, he ordered. She glared at him, her lips pulling back over her white canines. Do it, he pushed, flashing his own fangs. That's enough. I think that gives you enough context. Just another one of my biggest issues with the book. Is it very swiftly mentions rape. It very swiftly mentions it in a lot of 2 descriptive paragraphs. And as someone that is just not a fan of anything to do with the sort, I know some people like dark romance and stuff. That's just not my thing. Mentioning it was kind of, I don't know, it felt rude. It felt gross. And it felt like it was just there to be quirky and different when it's not a subject matter that should be taken so light of, especially as briefly as a single descriptive paragraph. So on page 84, these were strange. So, whatever, Mickey smiled and slammed the truck door closed. She waved at Sarah and Sarah waited until she saw Mickey go up the stairs into her apartment and turn on the light inside. This signaled that Mickey had checked their tiny apartment and found no serial hiding in any corner. What? No. So that's just weird. Why is that such a brief mention? Why is that... you could have built that character, maybe she'd been sexually assaulted. You could have built it like she has a fear of that stuff. Then that would have felt normal. Sexual assault is not mentioned once in this, besides these 2 paragraphs where there are a brief mention that's meant to be like, oh, we're women and we're scared. What? And it's so ironic because this whole book is supposed to be about Sarah becoming the alpha female who's strong as Zach, her counterpart. Second paragraph here is, it had been a couple of years since they'd gone to a rave together. Mickey had a job, had school and 2 jobs. Angelina had her own business, although she never seemed to be there. That's why I have staff. And now that they knew there was no biker gang waiting to drug them, rape them, and send them off to Taiwan to be Mickey's contention, the friends silently decided that on this clear, chilly night that they would relax and have a good time. I just don't really know what to say to that. I think that's it's gross, it's very brief, and it's not as quirky as we think it is. It's not quirky at all, actually. It's making light of a very serious situation in something as brief as maybe 4 lines in the book. And it has no place, it's got no correlation to any of the characters, any of their history, anything that we find out about them. It's just there to be there. The last weakness that the book has is the characters themselves. Sarah and Zach are the least root forable book couple ever. I did not care for them at all. I was not rooting for them. I was not like, yay, let's get them together. I was like, can this book finish already? Then Mickey and Angelina are just the same character. They're so one-dimensional that I can't tell the difference between them. They're just both women that are quirky and different. That's all they have. There's no depth to any of the characters, which I say, it's 213 pages. How are you going to build that out? But I've read books that are 213 pages and I've rated them 5 stars. So it's not for lack of book. It's for lack of character building. It's for lack of actual plot and story that's not just smut or sexy werewolf man. My final opinion on the book is it makes Ali Hazelwood look like Shakespeare. And no hate to Ali Hazelwood. I quite like her books. But if I'm looking for something to get my rocks off quickly and just have a fun, easy read, it's not this. I think that this book was made for older women. Definitely, I don't think it's for me. And I just felt that it was very stale as a romance, and as a wolf shifting book itself, it was just not, it never went into anything enough. It never actually explained what the pack was about. It never explained any of the dynamics. It didn't do much. If you want other recommendations for werewolf books that I actually really enjoyed, we've got Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which was pretty good. Then we've got The Wolf King by Lauren Pelfrinman. Can't say her surname. I got it on Kindle Unlimited. It's actually really good. And then lastly, Wolf Song by TJ Klune, as you can see over here. I didn't finish it, but I know a lot of people love it. All in all, I read this book for her kid. That's one thing signed off on the buy a thrifted book and read it. That's one of the 3. And it was just, no. This was also hidden at the back of a bookshelf, and for good reason. I think I'm gonna go return it to the old lady that sold it to me. No, I'm kidding. I think I bought it for like $2. So I will probably donate it because I don't want this on my shelf. Well, have fun reading. Enjoy your day, weekend, afternoon, whatever it is. And I should be making another video relatively soon about updating my hair kit because it has been like 2 months. But thank you very much for watching. I just want to also say that this is not to slander the author. I'm sure that some of her other novels are actually really good. This is just not for me. And I felt that it was just, it was strange. And it was strange. And it was not up my alley, even though I thought it would be. But, we live and we learn. So thank you for watching, and I will be back soon enough.